Aliner was the original pop-up hard-sided camper. It was born in Bend, Oregon, and since moved to the Midwest. But they have created something that has stood the test of time in its originality and build quality. And the people who own these have a testament to the build, construction, and the versatility that a hard-sided pop-up gets you. This is the classic. This is the original design made for the true camper at heart that needs a good place to store, an easy way to tow, and lightweight to pull behind many vehicles. This particular camper comes in at an impressive 15-foot length, 78-inch width, and 1,725 pounds of dry weight. That gives you a variety of different vehicles that be able to pull this camper to your favorite destination. So even though the listed dry weight on this is 1,725 pounds, because it has the dormer, one thing that Aliner does really well is transparency. And they put a sticker right on the side that will give you the actual dry weight of the vehicle that is sitting on the ground. So this one with the dormer and all options on here is 1,848 pounds dry. The tongue weight on it, they also give you, is 207 pounds. Up on the tongue, you're outfitted with 2 propane tanks totaling 10 gallons of propane on your 1 battery tray with a hand crank jack. This diamond plate front cap allows you to go down the road hitting rocks, debris, anything that might pop up from your vehicle and still stay intact and structurally sound when you get to your campsite. Aliner gives you additional options for dormers. This is a hard dormer. It's the extended triangle piece that gives you more head height throughout the camper. This is going to be a hard dormer. You do have an option for a soft dormer, a front and a rear dormer. On the inside, you're going to see how that opens up the space both over the dinette as well as over the bed. On the rear of the trailer, you do have a couple amenities on here. You do have a bumper. This does have a 2-inch receiver on there that is exclusively for bike racks. And that is new since 2024 when they started adding that on, because a lot of people wanted to carry on these and the roof racks weren't necessarily feasible. So that 2-inch receiver, again, just for bike racks. You do have a movable back spare tire. And then again, diamond plating on the rear, giving you a lot of structural stability as well as longevity on your camper. On the business end of your camper, you do have all of your hookups here. You've got your city water, your freshwater fill. That's an 11-gallon freshwater tank, which gives you plenty of fresh water. You have your hot water heater as well as your electric hookups. It's a note to mention that this is Azdel siding, so you do have Azdel siding sandwiched into a foam core, so there's no wood in the walls whatsoever. And that gives you a lot of great longevity in these different components on the exterior, especially dealing with a lot of the elements. You're not going to have any rotting or molding in that wall at all. The last couple of things to note here on the exterior is the storage compartments. So you do have a storage compartment here on the rear. That's going to be underneath the bed on the interior. You have this rail right here that you do have a propane quick connect underneath for your external grill, and then your 110 outlets as well as a docking light. So you have a nice campsite light. If you ever wondered why those are yellow, it's because they don't attract bugs, whereas white lights will attract all your bugs and you're going to get eaten alive at nighttime by those mosquitoes. One of the biggest claims to fame for Aliner is how fast they set up and tear down. With each panel being made up of just foam composite and Azdel siding, each side is extremely light and capable. There's a bungee system up at the top that helps you pull up as well as pull down. And 30 seconds or less, I'll let you be the judge. Alright, so this is pointing at the rear of the camper. This is where your bed is going to sit on the rear mattress version of the Aliner Classic. It is a pretty comfy bed. You're looking at almost 4 or 5 inches of foam on there. It's a bit a bit firmer. If I lay down on here at a 6'5", I am propping my head up over here, so I'm going to have to be a little bit diagonal, and then you're also going to have to fight over the inside or the outside of this bed. Outside of that, it is a pretty comfortable bed. Again, I'm going to be kind of curled up as a 6'5" person. At 6 foot, you're probably fitting in there pretty comfy. One thing I also want to note on the rear of this trailer, because it is the mattress version, you don't have, or we didn't option it with the dorm on this side. We find it unnecessary because you're going to be laying down. You're not going to be sitting up back here where you need that extra height in the rear. So we just left that. It also gives you a nice big window that's going to be domed on there, so you can actually lay out and look at the stars. If we flip around to the kitchen here, this is going to be a couple different amenities jam-packed into one central location. So this is going to be your stove, or sorry, this is going to be your sink, which has a flip up. You've got hot and cold tap on there from your 11-gallon freshwater tank. You do have a port for, this is for your AC, which is actually located underneath your bed. And then you have your 2-burner stove right up here, which is really nice to use. A 3-gallon or 3 cubic foot fridge on here, which is going to be a nice deep 12-volt fridge. And then you have your heat pump, which will blow both hot and cold air. It's not a dedicated AC, but it will blow cold air just off of your propane alone. And then a little bit of a storage section down there to your left. All right, so we flipped around to the front side of the trailer. So the tongue of the trailer is going to be out this way. This is where that dormer sits. So as I'm sitting here, I've got about 3 feet of head height above my head. So plenty of room to sit up, even wedged all the way up against the back of the trailer. The back seat cushions are pretty comfortable. They do move around a little bit, but they give you the support that you need. And then in here, this is where the dinette sits. This is a movable table. So that'll sit just here. Be nice and easy to use, but also you can bring it in and out. There is that outside cook station, so you could bring it out there for a prep table as well. Now, traditional travel trailers, you usually use the table to complete the bed section of the dinette. In A-liners, they do it a little bit differently. They use these little slats that are actually going to be a lot sturdier for you. So if you have larger people coming to visit, bigger adults, you'd be able to put those on these different slats here, line them up all across, and that creates your secondary bed, which is just as long as your primary bed. So an adult can easily sleep there. So that is the best part of this dinette situation. Last but not least, you have the microwave area. Now it's in a little bit interesting situation. I do like that the door does open to the interior, so you can use it when this door is closed. But nonetheless, pretty nice to have if you've got kids around, if you're at a campsite and you're hooked up, just be able to use a microwave, throw a little pizza in there, warm up a bagel, and enjoy a nice warm meal. One of the last quick things I wanted to show you storage-wise in this camper is actually underneath the bed. So there is quite a bit of storage under there. You're just gonna have to be careful because that is your AC unit. That's all ducted throughout, but it gives you nice cool air when you are hooked up to a campsite and able to stay nice and comfortable throughout your stay. So why am I sitting on the floor? Because a lot of the changes for 2025 are going to be down in this area. One of the biggest things that you'll notice is going to be the color change. This is going to be a lighter wood. It's kind of a trend in the trailer industry to go a little bit more lighter with their interiors, and A-Liner seems to be following that trend. They are still using 100% wood in their cabinetry, so it's not any composite, it's solid wood throughout. And then what they also added was this 3 cubic foot 12-volt fridge. There was experimentation with different coolers, but this seems to be the newest fridge that they've added, which has turned out to be quite the complement to the rest of the camper. The Linoleum floor, that is going to be new in terms of the colorway for 2025. And I think it really ties in everything together in terms of colors. It makes it a lot brighter in here and a little bit more of a timeless feel. This has been the 2025 A-Liner Classic. This is one of the best trailers that we have in the folding category available at Apache Camping Center. You can find the availability and pricing linked below. And if you have any questions in between the tow vehicle, the weight of this, and what is going to be safe for you, please check your manufacturer specs on your vehicle or give us a call and we'd be able to set you up safely, soundly, and have you out camping in no time.